Hello again everyone, welcome back to the 31 Films Challenge. I am the Geordie Geek and this is day 23 of the challenge. For this video I'm doing something a little bit different. There's a YouTube channel that I'm sure a lot of you know called SourceFed Nerd, and they do a regular movie club. And with it being October, they're doing some scary movies. So for this week they decided to do Event Horizon. So I also decided to watch along and link my video up to theirs on the off chance they'd put some of my stuff on. So that's what the extra hashtag is at the end of the title for this, which is of course SFMC Event Horizon. That's just so they can pick it up and do whatever they want to it, if they want to do anything or not. So I'll just dive right in. Event Horizon is a 1997 sci-fi horror film. Its tagline, I believe, was Infinite Space, Infinite Terror. I'm not really sure that it lived up to that billing, but you know, I'll go with it. Rough plot summary. There was this ship, a spaceship built called the Event Horizon, and basically it could travel at the speed of light without traveling at the speed of light because science. So instead what it could do was it could create artificial black holes to jump from one place to another within the same space and time. You see? You following us? Yeah. So basically it did that, it made the jump, it disappeared for 7 years, gone without a trace, and then all of a sudden it just reappeared. So there's a rescue team sent out to go and get them and see what happened and make sure everyone's okay and bring them back. But of course, when they get to the Event Horizon, it turns out that everything went cray-cray on the other side. So things move on from there. I'm trying to not do too many spoilers, so we'll go from that. So yeah, like I said, it's a sci-fi horror. It's not really very horror-y at all. There are little elements that at the time in 97 could have been kind of scary as crap, but not so much now because of all the other jazz we've had come out. I don't know how much of it is just because it seems very dated, but you know, I gave it a watch, and I made a few little notes of things that I could mention. The first one, I think overall for me, I liked the set design. There was a lot of really cool things. Obviously, being like a sci-fi space film, you've got to try and get the feel right of all the different spacecrafts and stuff. I mean, we've been treated to some really good spacecraft and films, whether it's like you've got 2001, Sunshine by Danny Boyle, even Moon as well, which was amazing for the little indie film that it was with the budget that it had. I think some of the sets in this film work really well. Like the gravity core thing, that does look pretty cool. I enjoyed that when I seen it. I mean, you can't beat a good gyroscope. It does look a bit, not so much steampunky. I think, if anything, it reminds us of Hellraiser a lot, like the cube. It's got that kind of feel to it. But it's pretty cool. I think the one thing where it doesn't kind of get the feeling right, with obviously, I know it's a space horror film, so it's not so much going for the whole claustrophobic nature, but you think space, you think that like these spacecrafts are going to be pretty claustrophobic, and I don't think it ever really gets that way. I mean, there's one scene in which the Doctor has got to go into this series of tunnels to find like a short-circuited board. But even crawling through those tunnels, I mean, previous in the film he said that he's very claustrophobic. But when he's crawling through these tunnels, I mean, they're still pretty huge things. They don't look very cramped or anything. I mean, it wouldn't be fun just to crawl around them constantly all the time anyway. Well, actually, it really would, like crawling around spaces. But didn't look claustrophobic. I mean, you get the lights turning off, coming towards them, which is creepy in itself, but it would have been better suited if it was a lot more cramped and yeah. But yeah, they're mostly good. There was one little thing with it that I did actually enjoy. That I don't know if many other people would have possibly picked up on it. But a lot of the interior walls within the ship, like the way they've got the metal tiling and stuff, it makes it look like, if you think of like a throwback, like an old like sanatorium, or it's like Arkham Asylum and all that type of jazz where all the crazy people go. I think that does kind of fit in really well with the whole theme of things, because obviously you get the crew members having their little hallucinations and stuff, and just like having little bits where they snap and change characters. So I don't know if that was intentional. I would like to think it was, to get the pervasive madness through the ship, because obviously the ship is, spoilers, kind of like a living thing. So yeah, I enjoyed that part. I think on paper as well, the cast looked really good when I first, I turned it on, I started watching it, and I was like, oh, this could be good. I knew Sam Neill was in, Dr. Grant. He's not Dr. Grant in this. He'll always be Dr. Grant to me. Then you've got Lawrence Fishburne, Lawrence, Morpheus. Morpheus is in it. You've got Sinestro, Jason Isaacs, and Anita from 101 Dalmatians. Yeah, so on paper the cast looked pretty cool when you first started going through it, but I think my main problem with this film was the depth of the characters. You can tell that it does try to create backstories for a lot of the characters, but it just kind of falls short. I mean, you don't really get any in-depth thing into anyone. Most you probably get is with the Doctor himself, just having little flashbacks like 3 or 4 times to his wife. But even then, it's very scarce in the details department. It just seems like they're really trying too hard to make we care about these characters, and I don't really think I cared about any of them, to be honest. It also doesn't help the fact that they're all massive stereotypes. I mean, you got the captain, Morpheus. I'm going to call him Morpheus. It's easier this way. Harder to remember names. He's like the stereotype. He's the leader. He's in his past, which we learned. The one thing that we learned about him, he had to leave someone behind. So he resolved to never do that again. So you know he's going to end up sacrificing himself in some way, or hurting himself. So you've got that. You've got the Doctor, who created this ship, the Event Horizon, and everything that it can do. So he would be the one you think, oh, you keep it together, but no, you won't keep it together. That's the stereotype as well. And then I think the worst one of all, the 2 of them really, and unfortunately it is the 2 female characters. You've got Peters, who is the medic woman, who is the stereotype mom, who's got the stereotype mother, mummy, she's got a kid at home. The madness gets to her first, and she starts like seeing a kid, and it feels really forced. And because we don't care a lot about these characters, it's just, you watch it and you go, you deserve everything you get, to be honest. And she does, because she's pretty stupid how she dies, and it is her own fault. Unfortunately as well, you've got Cooper. He fits into near the end of the film at least, he fits into the comedy relief role, shouting these stupid little catchphrases and like, oh shit, here I come, and all that type of jazz. It was a bit cringeworthy, 90s for you. But the worst one, without a shadow of a doubt, the worst character in this film, she is the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen in a film. Well, that's a lie. She's the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen in a film that I've watched tonight. Is Stark, because she is there purely, 1, to provide exposition for anything the captain or the Doctor say. She will literally just say the things that people are thinking, or that people don't need to know. So she does that, which is really annoying, and she's also the damsel in distress. Because if you go back and think about how much of her you see in this film is only when we get a piece of exposition, from the two main characters, so she can ask the questions to get more exposition. Or if something goes wrong, she'll come along and say, "This has gone wrong," and then she'll get hit by something and lie on the floor for a bit, and then get saved very dramatically. So that was really annoying. I don't know if my annoyance is like pervading through the whole video, but it was pretty gash, to be honest. But you know, 97. I don't know what budgets were, or to be honest, I don't really remember much of the context around when the film came out and how it did at the box office and stuff. This is probably where research comes in. But yeah, there was two things as well as I was watching the film that I thought were quite funny. One of them, which is a point that was referenced at least 3 times once they were on board the Event Horizon. More exposition from my friend Stock. They said that they had about 20 hours left of breathable oxygen, and then they would have to get lost. So you would think with 20 hours, obviously, yeah, it's an hour and a half film, like 94 minutes or something possibly. So you can't have the full 20 minutes or whatever. 20 hours, you can have 20 minutes, which was a struggle in itself. But considering they've got 20 hours, there was a lot of sitting around just talking. Now, if I was anywhere and told I had 20 hours of breathable oxygen left, I would be making damn sure that I either got the hell out of there or stopped farting so I still had more oxygen. But apparently that's not what people do in space. You just sit and have a chat about things that might have happened in your previous life, but not get into too much detail. And the other one, which made us think of a character from a completely different thing. Everyone keeps saying, like, to check if things are okay. I don't know if this is an American thing, or because I've only ever heard it in one place prior to this film. People keep asking if it's 5x5. As soon as someone said that, all I thought of was Faith from Buffy the Vampire Slayer, which isn't a bad thing because Faith's awesome, and I'd rather watch her just sitting saying 5x5 for 94 minutes than watch Event Horizon again. Sorry. Right, I'm going to do my overall things because I've rambled. I wouldn't watch that film again. To be honest, it was really hard work watching it. I found myself picking my phone up a few times and starting to flick through Twitter, so I had to put it across the other side of the room and sit and do my best to concentrate on what I was watching, which I'm definitely not doing again, without a shadow of a doubt. Sorry. I did get really excited when it was mentioned on SourceFed, because I thought, ooh, sci-fi, I like sci-fi. Horror, I like horror. I've never seen it before. It's got Dr. Grant in. This'll be awesome. Nope. I think I'm probably going to give this a 6 out of 10, and that's being generous. Very generous. So yeah, a bit unfortunate. Tomorrow, I've already decided what film I'm going to be watching. It's going to be The ABCs of Death. I believe it's available on Netflix if you want to watch that as well. If you haven't went out and seen it in the pictures or got it on DVD or anything. So tune in for my vlog on that tomorrow again. Just on the back of having this hashtag on for SourceFed Movie Club, if you haven't watched any of their videos before, go on and do it. There's SourceFed, SourceFed Nerd, and they've got the For Human People's channel, which is just started up. Really good stuff, so go and watch them. If you want to talk with me more, obviously you can tweet us at Dixon10. You can use the hashtag 31films. You can go on my blog, thegeordiegeek.wordpress.com, or you can talk to us in the comments below on here. All the stuff that all the links will be in the description as usual. So I think all I've got left to say now is see you tomorrow.